Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Time to Rolls Campaign 1. This is episode 97. We are back live. I know it's been 2 weeks. Unfortunately, our adult schedules are getting rough. And unfortunately, we're getting into a point in the story where I kind of need almost everyone here. But unfortunately, we don't have everyone here tonight. We are missing Squirtle as of right now, although he said he would be tuning in the car. He's coming back from a family thing. So he should be hopping in here, hopefully, at some point tonight. We will have no Todd. Todd, unfortunately, will not be here this session or next session. Or would have been last week's session as well because of work. He's scheduled to work the night shifts. He's a medical professional. Nothing he can do about it. So we're here. We're live. We're gonna get into a bit of a recap because it has been 2 weeks for me and the players and you guys. But yeah. Anyways, don't forget to follow us over here on Twitch. We just hit the 50 follower mark after a while. So we should be getting affiliate fairly soon. So that's pretty exciting. And don't forget to subscribe over on YouTube. Follow us over on all the podcasting platforms. And follow my Twitter linked in the description. Anytime that there's any delays in uploads or anything like that, I tend to post there about it. So if you're invested in this show, then following me over there would be your best bet. So for updates, that is. So let's get into it, and then hopefully we can start introducing these guys to a portion of getting to the end of the story. So let's see.
Okay.
Hello.
So yeah.
Oh, he's back.
I am back.
Uh-oh.
I am back.
You didn't hear what we were discussing, did you?
Nope.
That's
We're
unfortunate.
talking about a bear trap.
Oh yeah.
Unopened
Oh yeah.
in the game.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it opened.
I feel like there's
It's like a Saw
I
movie.
feel like there's an innuendo in
that,
here.
I mean,
Like
it would
that
be
one
innuendo at that point.
It's like that one scene from The Dictator where they're torturing him, and he pulls out the anal umbrella, but he says he didn't have a splash guard.
Jesus Christ.
What?
It's like,
He's not going to help you.
You said it would be an innuendo, but wouldn't it be in your endo at that point?
No, whatever big bad you guys decide to throw it at.
Can we use the
Listen.
anal umbrella on Torben?
Can we use enlarge or reduce to Ant-Man and Thanos' asshole, but the big bad?
I have that spell. I might even have that spell prepared, and I might even have a spell slot for it still, despite my exhausted. Oh, I don't have it prepared. Never mind.
Have fun sneaking into his butt. Have fun sneaking to his bumhole when he has true sight. Okay. Yes.
Those are
Yeah.
small
I would like
enough.
to roll to seduce him.
It worked on the captain. We could get lucky twice.
Right?
Speaking of the captain.
Roll for break.
Hey, strangely, Elka has morning sickness. I'm kidding. For now.
It wouldn't happen that quickly.
No, it would not.
Yeah, would.
Did you research pregnancy?
I plead the fifth.
Okay. I debate realism in my D&D.
Technically, I'd have to research rabbit pregnancy, which seems another weird hole
We also
rabbit
need to
hole
like-
to go down.
We need to roll for
Rabbit.
STD.
Like, mixing rabbit and human.
Is it really a weird hole to go down when people breed rabbits for competitions and shit? I don't think it's that weird.
Yeah,
Are we going to ignore the obvious?
Yeah, I'm
that'd be a weird-
I'm ignoring the obvious innuendo there.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that's too
Going down the rabbit hole.
that's too easy, Brett.
Just like Mousy was for the captain last session.
That
Hey, it was Elka.
Damn.
You're right. You're right.
Oh, that's fun. Anyway, speaking of last session, let's do a bit of a recap, and then we'll get into this one. Last we left off, Rat Bastards, you guys were on the Crimson Chaos, the sky ship chartered by the Lord of Yalanort to escort all of you to the capital city of Espruar here in the fairy kingdom of Arune. Flying in the weird mana-filled sky above Arune, you all actually had a relatively tame flight. A few days worth of travel, around 3 or 4. You were able to successfully make it into the airspace above the outskirts of Espruar. Some of you partook in some extracurricular activities, specifically Elka sleeping with the captain, as well as Thaddeus nearly dying to a mimic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that happened. That was a weird thing to. God damn it, Mousy! I just read the Twitch chat. That's distracting. I can't look at that. Why? No. Anyways, back to the recap. You guys find yourself flying above the clouds, slowly descending to where part of the city is in view. Except what you see in front of you as you look over the ledges of the Crimson Chaos, you see swampland. You see tall mangrove trees. You see off in the distance, a good couple of miles away, you see a forebodingly large tree of life. Not quite at the center of the city, but off to more, would be equivalent, if you're flying north, it'd be off to the west, northwest of where you're looking. You see, not, the swamps are alive. You see floating lights, and you hear, as you descend, you just hear all sorts of wildlife start to come into easily hearable distance from all of you. You see, also off in the distance as you're coming down, a quite large lake surrounding a single dome-shaped island that has a few what look to be maybe temples built on the center of it. For those of you that rolled well enough on the history check, and actually will also listen to Leon explain what the capital city is like, you would wage to guess that island has something to do with the ultimate goal for you guys coming here to Espruar. It's where you believe the pool of life would probably lie. You were told that it lies with it is a pool of mana. Pool of mana that lies in a sanctuary on an island in the middle of a lake. So you could bear to guess that's probably where you gotta go. As you get closer and closer to the swamp, you hear Captain Hercon yell, we're getting close. Hang on to something. We have to bring it down." And you see the crew start to tighten themselves down, begin to bring the sails at more of a half mast area. You feel the fog, the dense mana filled fog around you that's been keeping you afloat start to slowly thin out, and as easily as you were lifted up into the air, you are now slowly touching down into a deeper swampy water. It was almost like a river canal, and I guess I'll go ahead and show you kind of what that looks like real quick. So you find yourself touching down would be around here. I'll go ahead and grab a token. We'll use
Well, I know where want to go.
Oh yeah.
I know where you want to go too.
South?
Yup. Oh, maybe not. I was thinking slightly north of south.
Oh, I see what you mean by that, but I was looking at the deep south.
Yeah. Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
Yeah.
Okay, let me grab one of your guys' tokens. We'll just use yeah, sure, we'll use Archer's token to indicate where you guys are touching down. You're touching down right here in this central pool here. As the Crimson Chaos comes to a halt and you begin floating on top of the water, immediately multiple alligator-like animals surface and then immediately go back down under the water, and you see rushing water away from the boat, as if they're afraid of the impact of the ship. And this is a large ship. This is as big as any galleon you've ever been on. Galleon type skyship. Bigger than it's a little bit bigger than the Lily, and it's definitely bigger than any of the Sylvanian airships that you've seen flying above. But you land, and Captain Huracan says, "Okay, well, you're here, so enjoy." And he kind of points to two rowboats, and he just looks. I have to watch the ship. This is where the Crimson Chaos will be until either you are all ready to leave, or we're assigned other places. If we do not meet again, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Captain.
Thank you kindly.
He'll, as the crew starts readying these rowboats for you, he'll kind of like walk up to Elka and say, I do hope to see you again, Miss Burning Heart.
I hope we meet again as well.
Very well. And he'll point you guys to these rowboats. These are larger than most rowboats you've been on. Quite larger than the magical ones that Ander had on his ship. Big enough to hold about four people, or maybe two people and one Ori. So all of you are able to easily get onto these boats and begin rowing. Is there anything else you guys want to do on the Crimson Chaos before you embark on your journey up the swamp?
I'm just gonna pat Elka on the shoulder and be like, I need my coin back.
I'll pass it back to him.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
take
even-
it, and I'm gonna hand it to Vatum.
Thank you.
You're gonna need that more than me right now.
What is it?
It's a lucky coin. I'll send you the item code.
Ah.
Okay. As you guys begin to mount onto these rowboats, you'll hear the captain say, "Your guide will be here momentarily. Until then, start rowing that way up the channel. You'll eventually be met by your guide, and they will take you to where you'll have to stay until your appointment with the king. Any of you that are from here, do feel free to wander about. Anybody that isn't from here, I would mind your manners and follow any instructions given." And he will nod at all of you, send a wink towards Elka, and kind of like he'll like walk up and put his boot to the rowboat that Elka's sitting on and kind of kick you guys off in the right direction. So you guys are rowing.
Who's in the boat with me? Or can everyone hear me?
Yeah, you guys are rowing close enough together. It's like you're kayaking together, right? Like you're close enough that with a slightly raised voice you'd be able to hear it. But yeah, I mean, what do we want the orders to be on the boats? Just so I know.
Well, like really quick, like once we're out of earshot of the main boat, I'm just gonna be like, I think he likes me.
I'd say so.
You also have Archer, Elkis, and Ophelia climbing onto the boats. So,
Okay, well, I can say that he likes me and not that he railed me.
oh honey, everybody on the boat knows what happened.
Yeah, we all heard it.
Oh.
I had them roll perception checks without you knowing. They.
Beep is finally praying to a god that he can actually forget what happened.
Well, I'm a little more embarrassed than I should be.
Good. Anyways, so you guys begin. When you get onto these boats, you could definitely fit 4 is what they're meant for, but there's enough seats to probably comfortably sit 6 small people. But it would, or I wouldn't say small people, medium-sized creatures. But it would be cramped. It wouldn't be like it would be like being on a Disney water park ride where you're just kind of stuffed in there like sardines. Not quite sardines, but close enough. A little bit more room than that. So, 2 boats. Who do we have? Elkis and Archer would probably actually split themselves up, given the fact that they are familiar kind of with the swamps. Ophelia would probably just file in wherever she's needed. So, what do you guys want to do?
I'm just going. I'm not on mute. Okay. I'm just going onto whichever boat is second,
Okay.
and just kind of like sitting in the middle.
All right.
I'm going with Vouivre.
I guess I'll have Arval go on the first boat.
Okay.
I'll go in whichever boat Archer is in.
Okay, Archer would be in the first boat, I'd say. So it'd be Archer, Arval, Elka, and then Ori in the first boat. Is that fine?
Yep.
Okay, and then the other 4 or 5. It would be 5 sitting in the other boat. So, okay. What is it? Echo and Thaddeus filing in. Okay, so you guys begin rowing. Whoever, it doesn't matter who rows. The boat is well built enough, and the paddles are well made enough for you to easily row through basically standstill water. The smell that wafts over, Elka, you know this smell. Where you're landing, you grew up running around in the plains just outside of these swamps. So you do know the smell of a muddy, still water, sulfuric type smell that comes out of the marshlands. However, you've never been on a boat in the middle of the marshlands for various reasons. Mostly being the Burning Hearts are a bunch of stale individuals that don't like adventure. But, and very protective of their own.
Some of them like adventure.
Some of them do. Not a lot of them. Most of them don't. Most of them will happily stay in their little grove for the rest of their lives. But you begin rowing, and once you get to this bridge, you hear a familiar voice call from the bridge. You go arcing around, and you hear, "Well, if it isn't my lovely little sister, and uncles, and friends," and it is standing atop the bridge with as much gusto as he normally has is Pavin Burning Heart. It's like, I am your guide. Don't hurt me, sister.
Elka is going to look up and say in the flattest tone possible, "Oh, wonderful, Pavin. I was very much hoping that I would get to see you again."
And he'll like jump down off the bridge and land on the first boat, kind of rocking it. I do miss your sarcasm, Uncle. Archer will look at him and go, "Hey, kid," and kind of smack him on the shoulder. Well, I'll be showing you to Visitor's Lane. That is where you'll be staying. I was notified by the Earl of Yalenor that all of you were on the way.
We have business to attend to first, and I'm gonna resettle the urn.
Right, I understand the predicament. However, you're not going to be able to visit your wanted destination today. In fact, the king isn't even in today and probably won't be back until tomorrow or the next.
Where is he?
On official business, from what I was told. I'm just a guide and also not a part of the inner circle when it comes to leadership here in our kingdom. So, Father just told me to guide you to Visitor's Lane and aid you however we can and be as hospitable as we can. And he'll like look at all of you, which is very rare here in Espruar. There's a reason we have an entire road dedicated to foreign guests. There aren't many that come here. Well,
Who can we speak to in lieu of the king?
Maybe one of the inner circle, perhaps my father, but we'll see if he's
Oh, I'd love to meet him.
occupied. Oh, I'm sure he'd love to meet all of you and see his dear daughter again.
What's he doing?
Does he know I'm here?
Yes, he's aware. Unfortunately, regardless of my attempts to hide the fact that you were with this group, he kind of forced it out of me. There's not much I could do. He seemed excited that
Thank
you were
you so
coming
much.
back, though.
Okay, I still don't wish to see him.
Well,
I'm gonna shoot Elka a look and just be like, if he is the one that can release us
And
from
you
this
can see
burden,
him without me.
very
Come
well.
on, Elka. You don't want to see your dear old pops that bad.
I do not. I'll see Mother, but I will not see my father.
I'll do what I can. You know how he can be, though. He's very persistent.
This one has been awake for 72 hours, right? Give or take 3 days.
Yeah, that's about right, yeah.
This one really wishes to be free of this burden.
We'll do what we can. Unfortunately, things move slowly amongst the inner circle of leadership, and the king himself tends to be the king. Anyways,
But they need a little pick-me-up. I could cast haste on him.
well, we can continue rowing. At the very least, find a bit of respite in Visitor's Lane, and perhaps we can figure out what to do after that. But we won't do much sitting here in the open waters, and we'd really like to get out of the swamp. The giant toads are acting up again.
We'll just spit over the side.
Toad's good eating.
Indeed.
Okay, we'll move on, and you'll continue rowing now with Pavin in tow. You get to about here, and the overall bird and birds are chirping. Various reptiles are making grumbling noises, and then as you get here, you hear a deep, bellowed ribbit come from all around you. You begin looking, and Vouivre, regardless of your state of being awake for 72 hours, your perception is still relatively intact. You can see that on each bank, except for the northern bank, there are at least a dozen giant toads, and these toads are probably as big as your boat, if not larger.
Yeah. Zach, your camera froze on stream.
Yeah, it does that sometimes. Thank you.
Mhm.
I really just need to buy a new cam link. I've been lazy about it. But okay. So as you roll on through, I'm going to need all of you collectively to roll a stealth check. It'll be a group stealth check with Pavin, Elkis, Archer, and Orphelia also rolling. And add +10 because Elka will cast Pass Without Trace. Oof. Starting off strong. I'll do their rolls in here. Roll d20 plus Archer rolled a 2, but still got a 29 for stealth.
That pass without trace.
And technically, he's a rogue, so technically he can't roll below a 10. So that's actually a 37 for him. I don't feel like pulling up all their character sheets, but I do have all these guys as like stealth, perception, and like saving throw numbers written down on a Word doc for easy use. D20 plus 6 for Ophelia. Okay, 25.
You might be able to hit up arrow and just change the plus whatever.
Yeah, that's actually a point. Alchemist plus 3 to stealth.
3 gang.
23. All right. And Pavin's a stealthy little fucker. $33. And then Aiko. I suppose I will get his. And I'm probably not gonna bother rolling for Thaddeus, but I might do it anyways. This is Aiko. 21. Man. And two twos for a stealth roll is ridiculous. Okay, and we'll go Thaddeus for her shits and giggles. We all know he's gonna pass anyways, but you know, you never know. Natural ones can happen.
I was gonna say, in the off chance that it's in that one.
And for some reason I rolled an advantage, but
that's fine. The first one was really high.
31, yeah, okay. What is this plus anyways? Plus 13, damn. All right.
That's a really low roll for him.
Or it's plus 10. Is it plus 10? Yeah, it's plus 10. Okay. Oh, plus 11. Understood. Okay. So all of you are able to slowly row past these toads. And the map that I downloaded is no longer needed. You make your way along the bend of this river, slowly going underneath the mangrove trees. As you get below the mangrove trees, you notice these monkey-like humanoids. You saw one of them on Captain Hurkon's boat. Very similar, definitely the same species or race of humanoid. They kind of like are looking down at you. Some of them holding babies, all of them clothed. It just seems like they live in these mangrove trees. You see like doors shaped out of wood at the very top. You see hammocks laying about in these mangroves, and these are huge trees. I know the map kind of has a hard time showing it, but just think trees and swamp as far as the eye can see, and you are being surrounded by these monkey-like sapiens, and they kind of like look down at you and be like, "Ooh, visitors! Look at them! That one looks like a bull. Wow."
So, are we able to hear them say that?
Yeah, oh yeah, they're very loud.
I'm suddenly gonna be like, are they talking about me or Ori?
A bull?
We both have
This
horns.
This one would assume Ori.
If any of you want, you can make a nature check or a history check to figure out what the race of these people are.
Do I get a bonus since I come up here?
I'd say you would roll with advantage anyways because of Calypso. Okay. Anybody? The DC was 15. Sorry, Austin.
I just got 15.
Oof.
For those of you that are above a 15, you would know that these people are called Hodozis. They are a ape-like humanoid that are hominid that are fey in nature. They tend to be tricksters and but hard workers, and they're pretty rare in the mortal realm. They don't tend to come off of Arune very often, since they're generally persecuted in some of the countries down below. Some of you in the in the years of passing through Valencia and Sylvania, you have seen a few here and there, but they're very few and far between. Almost kind of like turtles. They're very they like to be secluded and to their own, and that they do live in large familial groups where they tend to stay in a cluster of trees for their entire lives. They have a relatively short lifespan. Most of them not living past 50 years old. So you would gauge that most of the people above the trees hanging down are young adults. But you do see a few elderly, kind of laying back in the hammocks, kind of looking down at you. One of them sitting crisscross, fatter Hodozi, smoking a pipe. But yeah, so they're you begin rowing past, and they kind of wave at you as you row past and get out of their view. You get to about here, where you see a looming tree of life coming up out of the horizon and out of the marshlands and above the reeds. And anybody who has any sort of arcanical talent, so any of our druids or Zane, you or Arval, you feel a intense feeling of confusion coming from that tree. You see the golden leaves kind of fading into more of a darker green. You see the roots themselves slowly lifting out of the ground. You get the sense that this tree has been not well taken care of and has started to grow out in different directions because of lack of pruning and lack of upkeep. As you roll past, Pavin will be like, "That's old Alistair's tree. He hasn't been back in about 60 years or so." Elka, you would remember stories about a mage's tree that you shouldn't go anywhere near and avoid at all costs. You just never knew the name. You're never old enough to learn about who Alistair actually was in your time as a young person here in the city. But as you slowly row past it, you find yourself landing at a dock right here. On this dock, you see two furbolg. They are dressed in long green and yellow woven cloaks. Their hair, both of them having their hair reach long down past their shoulders. These seem to be female furbolgs. And as you arrive and Pavin steps off, he looks at both the furbolgs and kind of nods his head and says, "Our guests have arrived, wardens. Do treat them with respect. They have fought valiantly to protect this land, and they deserve the respect that we should give them." And the wardens, these two furbolgs, looking, "Oh, don't worry, everything will be fine. We'll treat them. We'll treat them just right." And Pat will be like, very well. Elka, I know you want to avoid our family at all costs, but Mother would love to see you. So if we could find a time and place, that would be great. I have errands to run. Elkis, you're expected back at the estate soon. Grandfather would love to speak with you about your tales below. And Elkis will look at, "I'll do it once our friends are taken care of." And Pavin will kind of nod, and he'll look at you, Elka, and bye. And he'll just kind of like turn around and head kind of this way. Both the wardens
Never been great with confrontation.
Both of the wardens, as they were introduced, one will be like, "Oh, hello there. My name is Hilda, and that over there is Batilda. We're sisters. We're the wardens here on Visitors Lane. We take care of all of you and make sure all of you are spick and span before you go and meet any of the inner circle. We will show you to your homing, the home that you will be staying in for your time here. As I understand that there's a bit of a time restraint for one of you," and they'll look at you. They'll look at you, Vouivre.
Glare back. Yes.
Okay, we'll do what we can. We'll try
The quicker the better for his sake.
We will try our best. Unfortunately, the king is out, and your audience with him will have to wait until he can make it back and make the time. So we'll show you to
I
your.
don't say anything. I just stare.
We'll show you to your housing. I'm realizing I can't do a higher pitch Canadian accent, like shitty Canadian accent. So this is how they sound.
Okay, I understood the assignment immediately.
How's it going,
So,
We're in the deep north, huh?
oh yeah, we're in the deep north.
We're in the
Anyways,
Great North, is what it is, you
Yeah,
know.
it's a great.
The king's just gonna
Great
come out.
White North.
King's just gonna come out. Oh, hey there, hosers. How you doing?
How did you read my notes?
How you doing there, Hosier? Oh goodness.
How dare you insult my king?
So you'll slowly be escorted with Archer in tow, Archer Alcus and Orphelia in tow. You make about halfway up Visitor's Lane where you're shown into this group, this building here. Is a larger compound. It's actually very well made. You get the sense that this building is, as you pass these buildings, the architecture does not match the overall swamp and marshlands aesthetic, trees, tree homes, and other various what you come to expect from Fae living. The houses built around here are more elvish and human-like made, almost in an attempt to copy and almost like an attempt to make visitors that are not of Fae descent feel a little bit more at home, at least to their best of their ability. Elka, you would know that Fae craftsmen, as they are very skilled, they're a quirky bunch that tend to overthink their creations more times than not. And you get the sense as you walk up that it's like walking into a weird, it's like walking into a like the Olympic Village, like a weird like touristy Olympic Village. That's the best way I could describe this place, where it's just like
The bed's made out of cardboard.
not quite. You do walk in, so there are multiple like small buildings in this compound. Each building having a purpose, and each of them are labeled. You have kitchen off to the right as you walk into this little center sandy area. You in front of you see lodging, and then it has male, female, and then it has on a sign above only sleep in the male or female assigned rooms if you feel like it. Whatever makes you comfortable. And then off to the left you see baths, basically, like a washroom. You definitely see the opportunity to take it's kind of like a hot spring in a way, like an indoor hot spring is the best way you could describe it. As you are shown into the main lodge area, you see hung on the walls home is where the heart is signs. You see a shitty replication of what looks to be a Sylvanian fireplace where they attempted to mill out clay bricks but ended up just using shale and rock that they found around to make this fire pit. It's very on the outside looking in, it looks kind of nice, but when you look closer, it's definitely shittily, like, not very well made. You see Live, Laugh, Love hanging over on the wall. You see...
I was going to ask.
Yep. It's as shitty as you would think. And they're like, okay, we'll show you to your bedrooms, and we'll get to business right away as soon as you know where you're staying. Okay. Hilda will will take half of you, take you to one wing, and take the other half, and then Batilda will take the other half. Unfortunately, we have to split up the rooms on each wing, but you could all meet in the center and converse there. You could go eat some food over in the kitchen, or you could go take a nice bath. We're all stocked here, okay? Okay. You get shown to these rooms, and each room it's bare bones. You have a bed that's like the shitty canopy bed that's made out of like the wooden pillars on each edge or each corner of the bed are just a little bit too thick than they should be. Instead of being like actually milled wood. They're actually just like tree trunks, like small tree trunks, just used to build this overhead canopy bed frame. There is no canopy or like privacy curtain on these canopy beds either. It's just the frame with a relatively nice and soft mattress. You have a dresser off in the left hand corner, and a desk with a mirror as well, and then a sitting chair, which seems to be actually well made. But you're shown to all these rooms, and Hilda will walk up to you. Okay, we should talk about business now. I did send a courier out to the inner circle. Hopefully somebody from the main families here will be able to speak to you and get the lowdown of your situation. You could also
appreciates that.
You could also speak to me about it. I have as much authority as they do here on the visitors lane, but the second you step out of it, it is their game, I should say. But we do ask you. Go ahead. Sorry.
Let it just be known that should this one lose concentration on this artifact, and I'll indicate the urn, something very, very terrible will be loosed.
Oh, well, that ain't good.
Hence the need for expedition. Hence why this one has been awake for 72 hours. Hence why this one is a touch cranky.
Oh, well, sorry about your predicament. Okay, we will do what we can. Perhaps one of the, perhaps we can get someone down here ASAP. Preferably one of the Realor, but we'll get there. Okay, well, all of you, we do have some rules here in Visitors Lane. You cannot visit the city proper unless you have a guide. Curfew is dusk until dawn. If you're caught wandering outside past dusk till dawn, well, you may get in trouble and thrown in jail. Sorry to tell you. I wouldn't wander into the marshlands at night. You'll get probably eaten or worse. And then she'll like look over to Ori, or severely maimed, maybe not eaten.
This one wishes to sleep outside. Is the courtyard acceptable?
As long as you do not leave the inner walls of this courtyard or of the compound, then yes, you may stay here and do whatever you like here. But again, you must have a guide. Now, to be fair, you do have a burning heart in your group. 2 burning hearts, in fact. And you also have a someone who married into the burning hearts with you. So as long as one of them are with you, and they have their family crest with them, then there should be no problem at all. But for now, we do ask that you stay here until one of the members of the inner circle of the Realor get here, and they'll be able to speak with you much better than I can about your current predicament. Okay?
Very well.
Alrighty then. Well, if you have any questions, there's a little button right there, and she'll point to what looks to be like a little wooden button. Just press that button and that will magically send a signal to our office that you are in need of assistance. Any questions from anybody else?
Nope.
Good. Alright, I will be off to drink some coffee. Okay. And you'll see both furbolgs sort of like walk out and then just lumber away. Orphelia will look at all of you. Well, aren't they just a bright ray of sunshines?
Indeed.
So I'm gonna be staying here with you. Last time I was here in the city, I almost got arrested, and I'm sure they're looking out for me once they found out that I was in this group. So I'm just gonna
That's
hang
fine.
out. Mr. Popular over there, I assume you should probably go talk to your family, yeah? Maybe take your lovely little niece. I'd rather not, but I suppose I should go check in with grandfather just to make sure he's not, angry or otherwise frustrated with the current circumstances. He'll look over to Elka. Would you like to come with? And
To
he'll
see grandfather.
to the estate itself. I have no idea who's there. My brother could be there. Your grandfather more than likely is there, and your mother is more than likely there.
I suppose I could go to see mother.
Very well. I hate to split all of you up, but you were asked to wait here.
I want to go meet these people. I'm going with.
Oh, you're coming with. Okay. Well, I suppose we could all go then, and maybe one of them will be able to answer Vouivre's issues. We could just take the bull by the horns, as they say, as he kind of laughs and then looks at Ori and then looks away.
I'll ignore that.
He'll nod. Very, very well. Well, I suppose follow us to the Burning Heart estate.
Should we leave a note in case?
That is a good point. Yes, I'll go ahead and write a brief little note using some magic. Okay. Let's see here. One sec. What is going on? My computer's being weird. That's annoying. Alrighty, let me. Jesus, my audio should. Can one of you say something?
Something.
Yeah.
Okay, I can hear you now. What the fuck? It's just completely cut out on me from my headphones.
Interesting.
Okay. So, Elkis will go ahead and write a quick little note, basically stating where you guys are heading to. Okay. So you begin walking towards the Burning Heart estate, and as you walk through Visitor's Lane, it is like a ghost town. There's not a lot going on there. You don't see many people staying in these compounds, and if they are, they're not showing their faces. You do hear various wildlife coming from the very close to you marshlands, and by all means, you're still within the marshlands here on Visitor's Lane. You walk past the dock that you were let off the boat from, and you walk across the quite large bridge heading towards Alistair's tree. As you walk past Alistair's tree, I would like I'm gonna say everybody in the group give me a perception check.
I tried to stand up and walk away for 2
That
seconds.
20.
Hell yeah.
14.
18, I'll take it.
All right. Anybody rolled a? Let's see here. We'll go with a 16 as the DC. Anybody who rolled above a 16, as you walk past Alistair's tree, you can't help but look up into it. But you do see a movement in the tree. It seems like somebody or something is standing on the top balcony of the tree, looking down over everyone for a brief second as you walk past.
With a nat 20, did I see anything more?
Yes, I'll type it to you.
Okay.
Because you're the only one who nat 20. Okay. Let me type that real quick.
I'm going with, I don't care that I saw what I saw, so.
Message sent.
Alright. Everyone, I have something important to tell you. That was Alistair.
Well, it is his tree.
I suppose it is. They said they hadn't seen him in 60 years, though.
You know how he is, though. We thought he was dead at one point.
True. I don't know what to think of the man. He's too much of an enigma.
There's probably a reason they told us children not to go near this tree.
I'll stay away from it. Unless he invites me in. That'd be funny.
This one has no intention of going there.
Out of curiosity, Zach,
Mm.
does Alistair's tree have a mailbox?
With a natural 20 perception? Yes. It's at the very top of the tree, you notice, though.
Ah.
Okay, go fuck yourself.
How am I gonna leave mail up there?
How tall's the tree?
Hundreds of feet tall.
Oh, shame.
Like, top of the tree is every bit of 300 feet to 400 feet
And
tall.
if you fly up there, he has like a SAM missile.
Fucking blows you out of the sky.
You try to leave him mail. This is how he's been evading taxes all these years because no one can reach its mailbox.
How did you know his secrets? Alright.
He's evading the IRS. Two men stand at the foot of the tree wearing full black suits waiting for him to come out.
Clearly a CIA plant.
Okay. Okay, so you continue walking by. You get past these trees and you notice that there is a pretty well-maintained fruit tree grove right here. You see various small flying, what look to be pixies or small fairies tending to these fields. And as you walk by, all of them kind of look at you and like hide behind tree limbs like, look at them, look at, oh, visitors walking down the road. What are we gonna do? Should we tell someone?
I'm just gonna politely wave.
As you politely wait, make a charisma check. Just a good old charisma check.
Nat 20.
Okay. Wow, nat 20s are flying tonight. as you wave, one brave young pixie will like peek up over the tree limb and see you waving, and then kind of like fly upwards, grab a small piece of fruit, and will fly over to you and go, "This is for you."
Thank you.
Okay, bye. And he'll like fly away and hide behind the tree again. The fruit in your hand is shaped like a star. It has a dark golden yellow texture to it.
I'm gonna put it away for later.
So you can check your DMs real quick.
Will do.
Mousy man, not magic.
Oh. That was about the fruit.
Okay. That's what it was. Okay, then disregard. Okay, so you begin walking down this trail. One would call it a rabbit trail. And one would say hopping. You make it to about here, where two Harengon men, probably about 4.5 feet tall each, see all of you and kind of get their guard up, and then they see Elkis and Archer and Orphelia. Elka,
And
what
get
are
their
you?
guard up more.
Yeah. And Elka, what are you doing as you approach?
Nothing particular, but chest out, head held high, acting like not only do I belong here and deserve respect, but I'm also a well-seasoned traveler who deserves extra respect.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So as you walk up, Elkis will walk. Hi there. We're here to see my father, and both of them will nod. Well, of course, Mr. Elkis. That's no problem at all. Yeah, no problem. We just saw a large group with a bunch of strangers wandering up, and we were worried that it was something different. But by all means, is that? And they kind of look at you, Elka, and no, never mind. And you all wander in to the Burning Heart Estate. Welcome to the Rabbit Grove. Sprawling out over the large estate, Elka, you have not seen this view in well over a year now. Various small little homes.
It's been 3 years since you went away.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so well over a year, definitely more than that. Because we're about 6 or 7 months into your guys' adventure, by the way. I did the math. So I don't know how long she was traveling prior. I can't remember. Was it it was like a year at least prior before meeting, yeah?
Yeah, so she left at 15. She's 18 now, so she really hasn't been here for almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years, yeah. It feels similar. Nothing much has changed, as most Burning Hearts don't appreciate change. Most Burning Hearts also don't age. Most Burning Hearts age pretty gracefully, so changing something up just doesn't make sense if it's working for them. You see various little hobbles of various Harengon, living life. It's not an air of snootiness, one that you would expect from just hearing stories of the Burning Hearts from Elkis, and for Zane's case, hearing about it from Archer and Elkis. It's not really what you expect at first. And you look at the large tree of life, and you're starting to gather that each family or each estate tends to have a tree of life at its center. And carved all throughout the tree, you see various apartments and homes. Large winding staircases go up the just immaculately tall this tree. It stands well above 300 to 400 feet tall, much like the others. You notice off behind the tree as you're walking around, you see stables with various livestock inside them, primarily goats. You see like these large longhorned goats that have horns that circle much like rams, but they're not connecting and they're not as thick as a ram's horn would be. They're literally goats with long curly horns that go downwards past their ears. And these are fairly large goats. You could definitely, anybody under 5 feet tall could probably ride these goats without much issue and ride them much like a horse. You look throughout all of these homes, but you see one home that is the largest. Elka, you would recognize this building, and that would be that of your childhood home. A mansion that stands almost a quarter way up the Tree of Life here at the Burning Heart Estate. Immaculately built and structured together. Definitely smoothed out and built using magics. As you approach, Pavin will be standing outside speaking with a female Harengon. You recognize her. She is Pavin's betrothed, Celeste. She's sitting there just listening to Pavin. What you hear, what you pick up as you walk up is, I cannot believe that old man. I told him that his daughter was home, but he felt it be more important to head to the inner circle and discuss what we should do with our guests. And Elkis will overhear this go, Oh, Uncle Elkis, everyone, I suppose I should have guessed all of you would travel in a pack. Welcome, to the Burning Heart Estate. Please, behave yourself. And he'll look kind of like with a half smile at everyone. And Celeste will kind of walk up to you, Elka. Are you doing all right, dear? Now that you're home?
I'm gonna look at her I'm just gonna look at her why are you asking me this? Because we barely know each other, but then I'm just gonna smile and say, I'm doing quite well, thank you for asking.
Good.
Elka's trying to recall all of her noble training and put on a brave face.
Yeah, gotcha. Celeste will look at you and smile and raise an eyebrow and nod at you. Pavin will look. Well, unfortunately, you missed our father, but mother is inside and grandfather's in a study. Uncle Elka's grandfather is waiting for you. Right, I'll be right. I'll go in there and talk to the old man. Archer, stay out here and don't scare the children again. It was one time, man. I can't help that they thought my wings were toys, okay? Whatever.
Honestly, if they get scared, that's on them.
I'm just gonna kind of look at him mischievously. and just like start melting the helmet off my face.
And he'll look at you with a smile. Gosh, if you showed your face around here, they might think the demons are attacking again.
Hey now. It's only if I pull out the spear.
Don't, or go full gauntlet on him, or pull out your dog.
My dog, you just like see a lone, but in my shadow, you just see it lurking like eyes.
Love
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Orphelia's already like floating up to the top of the tree. As everyone's saying behave, Orphelia's just like just slowly hovering up to the top of the tree of life. It just like stands on one of the branches and just is looking out over everything. And Arch will look up. Well, that might be an issue. Not my problem though, yet. Well, I suppose we could go in and say hi to your mom as Elkis is speaking with your grandfather.
Yes, probably best to skip grandfather.
Might be a good idea.
I'm gonna walk like straight into where my mother is,
Okay.
as if I own the place.
Okay. As you walk,
This one will remain outside. This one does not wish to make a bad first impression.
I'll go in with you.
okay. Who all's going inside? I'd say Eiko probably stay outside. By the way, you guys have a fucking blue dragon following you around right now.
Yes, we do.
Just as a reminder.
It's pretty normal.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
I'll go in.
Okay.
I'm going in.
Yeah, I'll have Arval going in.
Okay.
I will ask, I can't remember the dragon's name.
Aragon.
Aragon. I will ask him to zap me if I look like I'm falling asleep. In Draconic.
He will say back in Draconic, I got you. With a proud face on. Eiko will kind of go and find a random small oak tree and lean against it and just kind of wait. Thaddeus will join all of you inside as well. Elka, as you walk in like you're home, before you even have a chance to enter the door, your mother, Evanil, is like in front of your face. Like, she is there. And she'll go, my baby girl. And she'll just, without saying a word, hug you and embrace you. As she's...
I'll give her a hug back.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna like say like in a nice tone, like I'm not a baby anymore, Mom.
I can see that. Hello everyone. I guess you're
I'll introduce her. Mom, these are my friends.
Hello, Zane Rona.
Zane, pleasure. Thaddeus will give the whole Thaddeus Sterling, formerly of the House of Sterling, madam. And she'll look at him like, okay, hello. Why the visit after all these years, dear?
We're here to speak with the king, but he's not here right now. So
My daughter is trying to speak with the king, King Dryas himself. Okay, that is something I did not understand was happening. Unfortunately, your father isn't home. He stormed off. Something
I
about
don't want to see him.
something about a group of strangers in these lands, but I think I'm staring at that group of strangers. Huh. Well, how long are you here?
as long as it takes for us to complete this quest, and then we must head back to the mainland.
Well, I understand your unwillingness to stay here, but I do hope this won't be your only visit here while you're here. I do miss you terribly.
I miss you as well, and you must know that it wasn't anything you did that made me leave.
I'm
But
very aware, dear.
I deserve the same respect that any other burning heart would from grandfather. And until he can give that to me, I will not be coming home.
I'm gonna kind of nudge Elka in the back. Tell her what you can do now.
What do you mean?
Magic.
I mean, it's just a necklace.
Still counts.
It doesn't. Not to grandfather.
What's this about a necklace, dear?
Elkis gave me a necklace that allows me to cast spells.
He did. Good.
Uh,
He was speaking to me about all of that, and I told him it would be a fantastic idea. He's been keeping me in the loop, him and Archer, and she'll smile over at Archer, about your recent exploits, so I'm relatively informed. I had heard recently that you became a lord in Sylvania?
yes, we went to look for a stone called the Cordeorum to return to the king, and he granted us lands and titles. I guess not that I really needed them.
That's lovely, dear. I'm very proud of...
How much of Burning Heart history do you know?
Well, I guess that depends. We have our written history, and then we have our ancient history that is thousands of years ago.
Specifically about before the fracture.
My knowledge is fairly limited, unfortunately. A lot of the pre-fracture history on Arune has been locked away from even people like me, who tends to be a purveyor of knowledge and enjoys learning of our history. I know bits and pieces, but nothing.
Also, Zach, very sorry, since I'm away, I do not have my notebook, but I took notes about Calypso.
Yeah.
And I don't remember the rabbit, the burning heart that had Calypso before I found her, like from the before the fracture. So like, I'm very sorry, but like.
Oh no, you're fine.
I did write it down. I'm letting you know I didn't forget.
Yeah. That's fine.
Elka's just gonna be like, what do you know of whatever his name is?
Ferrarius is who you're asking about.
Ferrarius.
The Archface Smith, Ferrarius. Ferrarius, his name has been shared. He, as far as I know, he was a smith, primarily focused on crafting weapons for the guard, at the castle. But as far as I know, he passed away shortly after the fracture. I haven't heard much. I know he spent a lot of time in the inner sanctum of Elysium, but Other than that, I have no knowledge of him.
Do you know much about the Starblade?
And her eyes will kind of like... She'll look a bit confused. And then she'll like notice the blade on your hip. Where have you heard that name, dear?
From Calypso herself.
And she'll like look
And
at...
I'll pull her out.
And she'll smile at you. Dear, I know much about the Starblade Calypso. And so does your father. And I would advise you to make sure she stays sheathed while you're here in the capital city. That is
I'm gonna like look at her questioningly.
The blade was lost by the... Unfortunately, we have one stain that I'm aware of on Burning Heart history. And that is of... That's of Ashara Burning Heart. He abandoned Arune and made his way to the battlefield during the fracture, wielding the Starblade. No one had ever seen him again until a story arrived here in Arune from a bard, explaining that Ashura Burning Heart, in his own greed, broke the Starblade Calypso in half, or into multiple pieces. The story is a little muddied when it comes to how many pieces. However, he was said that he broke the blade in order to satiate his own want and need to wield magic. He's also the only other Burning Heart other than you to be magicless. The fact that you have the Starblade now, perhaps fate has stepped in the way of my dear daughter. I would keep that blade sheathed, and I would never show your father this.
Would it make him scared?
It would make him envious. Envious of his own daughter.
Wouldn't the recovery of such a blade be a boon for your family?
On most occasions, yes, it would. How much do any of you know about the fracture? Do you have any knowledge whatsoever of it?
I've had a bit of reading on it before.
Then you would probably know that there were heroes and villains within the fracture. The heroes fought on the side of the mortals, and the villains were sent by the betrayer gods to destroy the mortals. It's said that Ashura Burning Heart was one of those heroes, or so was told. Have you ever heard of the phrase an echo? Have you ever heard of an echo in general? Not auditory, but... how should I phrase this? And you see her kind of think. Have you ever heard of the phrase, echo of the fracture?
I believe I have.
Echoes were tools, weapons, armor. They were used by the heroes in the fracture. They were... most of them... and you see her, like, trying to, like, word this in a way that doesn't feel like it's confusing. Most of these echoes give a boon to whomever wields them. However, they're also known to be bringers of ruin to any and all who attempt to wield them without being worthy. Calypso...
I, like, put my hands behind my back when she says that. Go on.
Roll a deception check. She's rolling an insight check. By the way, Pavin and Celeste have now made their way into this conversation, and you're all guided into like a sitting room. You're all sitting and speaking with Elka's mother.
8.
8. Yeah, she looks at you. Zane, dear,
Yes.
show me your hands.
It's just some gauntlets, ma'am. I'm gonna put my hands forward.
I'm starting to understand why the Earl of Yalanor took a shining to all of you. Two echoes of the fracture have chosen 2 of your party. Calypso being one of them, and you, Zane, the Twin Devils.
Yeah, they speak to me on occasion.
It's been known for these weapons and tools to do that. There are...
Calypso speaks to me too.
Yeah, one of these gauntlets is really rude, the other's not.
Calypso's really nice.
You've spoken to Calypso.
Yes. Since the moment she was reforged.
You're welcome, by the way.
Yes.
Well, I only have knowledge of 4 echoes of the fracture. The 2 you wield. One that lies within the inner sanctum of Elysium, being Karis, the Windbow. And the other being a set of armor that is believed to be wielded and worn by the king of Sylvania, being Tassara, the Platinum Guard. There are plenty of other echoes out there. Those are the 4 that I know of. There are plenty that haven't been recorded or were lost to history. Perhaps maybe the dwarves know more than we do. We are but an island floating among the sky.
Speaking of the dwarves, that's where we found Calypso, was in a mountain.
You found Calypso in a whereabouts? Were you Valentia, Sylvania?
Sylvania.
Understood. Arndur. Haven't visited there in a couple decades. Well, I suppose, and she'll look at everybody who is in here. And she'll look at Thaddeus. Some of you may be chosen by these echoes in the future. Some of you, 2 of you already are. just know that wielding these weapons or wielding or wearing armor that is an echo brings about an entire different purpose in your life. If calamity were to strike and the end of the world were to come, it would be on all of you to stop it, as that is the destiny of any of those who wield or wear an echo. And some of you might be thinking, why would I help the world at large? I can just avoid fate and beat fate. I will tell you up front. Attempting to defeat fate is a fool's errand. But you live your life however you see fit. It seems we have visitors. And she'll look over to her left, and standing in the doorway is Elkis. Elkis will nod at her, and standing behind Elkis, looming over him, about a full foot taller, is this old gray rabbit Harangon. His ears stand up tall above his head, much different than Elka's. And walking into the room, Elka, you recognize him. This is your grandfather, Jovo. He will look at all of you. We have visitors. And those of esteemed variety. And then he'll look over at you, Elka. And some not.
I'm just gonna glare at him.
Well, don't let me keep you from your conversation.
Just so you are aware, I haven't put Calypso away.
I know. He will he'll side eye you and see the blade.
Did they come from deeper in the house?
Deeper in the house, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose I didn't describe the sitting room. The sitting room is a large tea room almost, which is centered at the immediately to the right of the entryway and foyer. Off to the
I was just asking. I just wanted to make sure he didn't come in past me.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Off to the right is a hallway which Elka, you would know. Your grandfather's and father's offices sit, and those are the only two rooms that sit on that side of this house. But he will look at all of you, and he'll glance over at Calypso, and he'll look and nod at the sword, and then look at you, Elka. Perhaps I was wrong. And he will, without saying a word to you, without even acknowledging without even acknowledging it, he'll walk right past you and just look back at Evanil, your mother. Evanil, I must head to Elysium. Elmic is having trouble. All of you are welcome to stay for dinner if you'd like. And he will walk out. Elka, what you notice about your grandfather is that he's walking with more of a hobble nowadays. He's definitely getting up in age. His chest is just as broad and his arms are just as long as you remember. Where he was once a fit, well-kept mage, you now see age is definitely catching up to him, and his he's no longer fit and well kept. You can definitely see more grizzle to his fur. You see a little bit more of a what equates to a small little beer gut, kind of like is forming instead of being sleek. He's still wearing his ornate robes and walking with his staff as most sorcerers do, but he definitely is showing his age as he walks past you.
Elka's gonna keep it to herself and just think, I cannot wait for that old man to die.
Smile at you, Elka. It seems you're didn't really say much, I guess. Well, maybe he said a lot there. Anywho, he's right though. All of you are welcome to stay for dinner, if you'd like. But that's entirely up to you. I have some advice for all of you, and she will like look outwards towards the door. You get the sense that she's maybe sensing what is going on in that. She can definitely feel a magical presence coming out from outside the door. Whatever you have, whatever you're responsible for here, make sure you do as you're told. You listen to what the great sages have to say. Don't do anything.
That's the goal.
And don't do anything reckless. Once you enter the inner sanctum of Elysium, there's not much anybody from the outside can do. I have only entered there once. And, well, yeah, anyways. Just be careful, and, I do hope you all the best for whatever you have to endeavor in the future.
Thank you.
On another note, Elka, dear, your cousin, Pravina, she seems to have, started to follow in your footsteps a bit. She's, hasn't left the
My footsteps.
Adventurous. She's becoming more adventurous. If you happen to see her down below, please take care of her.
Where was she headed?
Oh, she's still here in the city. She's just... We warn children not to go towards the large foreboding tree, Alistair's tree. She happily climbed right up in it once I told her about it.
It's okay. We were just with him the other day.
And she'll, like, her head will cock and be like, Alistair the mage,
Yes.
He's alive.
Yeah.
I suppose the inner ring might want to know that.
We can gladly let them know.
Other than him and the former prince, no one ever really, and I suppose our emissaries, and she'll look over at Elkis and Archer and Pavin. Most never leave Arune. So
Well, I'm sure I'm about the second from my country to be here, if I'm being honest.
Which country are you from?
Ebrecht.
Over the years, I'd say you're about the 5th or 6th.
Oh, who else? Do tell.
Let me see here. Recent memory? None when I was alive, and I'm 130
Oh.
years old.
Fair enough.
I'm sure there's a log somewhere in Visitor's Lane, though. Perhaps.
I may peruse that.
None that I can think of in recent memory. Although the King of Sylvania was here when he was a young man, he was still a prince then, though. I think that's the most notable person recently.
I helped him get a new arm.
He lost an arm.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I did hear about Artemis being destroyed.
They're doing okay now. Last we saw, at least.
Yes, dragons can be such a fickle thing. They're temperamental to a fault, wise beyond their years, but very destructive when you piss them off.
That's absolutely true.
As this conversation continues, Vouivre, walking out into the courtyard, you see a grizzled old man rabbit walking past you. He stops. First thing he notices is the blue dragon that now has garnered some attention from the young Harengon children that are here at the Burning Heart Estate. He then shifts his attention over to you. And he kind of looks...
This one begs pardon.
I assume you're one of the group that are here visiting.
Yes. This one is a touch ornery at the moment. This one did not wish to make a terrible first impression, but would you happen to be someone who can place me in front of the inner circle? It is imperative that this one speaks to someone important as soon as possible.
He'll kind of laugh at the notion. I used to be a member of the inner circle. I represented the Burning Heart family, the Rialuar. Currently, my son, my eldest son, holds that position. I heard about somewhat of your predicament through him. They're deliberating on what to do with all of you as of right now. So I'd say patience would be your best bet, young man, but I understand, and he'll look at the urn, that time might be of the essence.
It is, but might this one ask what, if you are able and willing to share, what of our situation is being discussed? This one does not see much need for discussion. We come bearing a boon for the city.
He'll smirk when you say a boon for the city.
I'll actually crack a very rare smile for that too.
Unfortunately, the inner circle tends to take their time. It's always been on the Burning Hearts to rush things along. However, Specifically, the barkhoppers and Miss Gems tend to be slow in their approach. Deliberate.
This one would be better off than perhaps waiting at one of their estates. In case this one has some concentration slip.
What is your name?
This one goes by Vouivre.
Vouivre. I am Jovo Burningheart. I assume you know my granddaughter and my son.
Yes, they are very capable.
I'm aware. I believe if I bring the earnest plea of a savior of the realm, being you, to the inner circle, my son and the other 4, well, 3, the king's missing currently. If I bring an earnest plea to expedite the process that you wish to partake in, I may be able to pull some strings. That being said, they're deliberating on whether or not to allow you access to the inner sanctum of Elysium. It is a sacred ground for all of us Fae folk. Very few ever go to the inner sanctum and come out alive. Rather unfortunate, honestly.
It is, but this one is willing to risk it.
I'll do what I can. They may not listen to an old codger such as myself, but perhaps I can sway some opinion. You know, I was a candidate for king before the current king took the throne. Perhaps they may listen to me.
This one thanks you, and I will bow as deeply as I can without toppling over.
Bowing isn't necessary in this land. The word of your fellow man or woman is all that a member of the Fae folk need. I give you my word I will bring up your earnest plea. I would like you to give me your word that you do everything in your power not to cause trouble, including you and your friends while you're here. The Fae don't like the Fae do not appreciate change. Do your best.
Understands.
This
one will do what he can, given his exhausted state.
Very well. Make a wisdom saving throw.
A wisdom saving throw.
Uh-huh. You just gave an archfey your name, buddy. You're good.
I'll take a 21 on that with disadvantage.
You're good. I would like to remind everybody, you're currently standing in what essentially is the Feywilds. Enjoy.
That's fair. This is where I say I pulled a triple bluff, and his name isn't actually Vouivre.
You motherfucker. 2 years.
We went pretty close to 1 by Vaten, so.
Yeah, we did, actually. Holy shit, you're right. He begins to slowly meander his way down the trail. You see him slowly walk, and then as he gets, I'd say about here, you hear him say, "Fuck it," and you'll just see him fly away. With your hearing, you can just hear him whisper, "Fuck it." But going back to the inside conversation, your mother, Elka, will walk up to you and say, "Dear, I understand that last time you left here, it was on your own terms, yet not in great terms. I would like you to know that you're always welcome here. Will always be your home. And I would appreciate even if you visited every once in a while. I understand we may be hard to find from the ground, but given what the magic is, and seeing the abilities and sensing the abilities of your friends, I assume you'll be able to make it here just fine. I believe at least one of your companions is a druid, yes?
Yes.
I would have him get to know the tree in the center courtyard.
Mother, with all due respect, when I left here, it was because of everything I had been put through. And as much as I love you, you did not stand up for me.
And
I will return and visit when grandfather is dead and when father has apologized to me.
She'll look at you
I will
with sadness.
concede and write you letters.
That's understandable. Well, I suppose I could attempt to speak with your father and try to get through his thick skull. But
Best of luck to you.
She'll nod at you and kind of look a little sad, and then look to you, Zane, along with Ori and Thaddeus and Arval, and I know she's capable, and I know she can be a bit stubborn. But please, if she gets into trouble, take care of her. And she'll just kind of look at all of you, and I think all of you have a task at hand. Elkis, I hope you'll be with them during this time. And he will look at her and say, "Of course, that's acceptable. I had every intention of helping them with their issues as best as my ability. Of course, I'm me, so we'll see. But, well, I think it's probably best for all of us to get going. We've been having our friends wait a little bit too long outside. I hope those children aren't bothering Vouivre and Echo too much." And your mother will walk over to you, Elka, and kind of not even go for the hug, but she'll just kind of grab your hand and squeeze, and she'll kind of look at you with apologetic and sad eyes. You can make an insight check if you like.
Bet. Oh, I'm bad at this.
You get the sense that she's just you definitely feel everyone who sees this look on her face knows that she bears a heavy weight of regret and sadness, and that's all you can really gather out of her face. And but you can also gather love from her. And she looks at all of you. Have a good day, and be careful. And if you happen to run into my husband, well, hope you.
Quite. Quite.
Elka, as you're standing up to leave, you hear a voice in your head. You hear Calypso speak to you. She's worried about you, isn't she? I just get the
I'm
sense.
sure she is.
Might be beneficial for you to, at the very least, put her worries at ease by the end of all of this. She is your mother.
I'll try.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go back to bed now. Being
Good dreams.
an echo of the fracture is hard work. Aren't you?
I'll give her a little pat on like the handle. Good sword.
You're best friends with your sword.
Yep.
So all of you begin to walk out. Vouivre, you see the group of your group of friends walk out, and Ophelia will come floating down from the tree, and Eiko will kind of walk over and nod at everybody, and you'll start. I guess. Will you be heading back to Visitor's Lane, or are you gonna go? What do you guys want to do?
Oops, fun. I'm muted. I am basically following the group right now. Like, I am too brain fried to make any decisions.
Okay.
As a character, I mean.
Fair enough.
Elka has like the worst kind of want to find her father because she wants to show him up and treat it. She wants to like prove to everyone that was rude to her that she is worth it, and like as much as her mother's like don't run into your father, like she still wants to.
Completely fair.
Oh, as you come out, Vouivre will look at you, Elka, and goes, this one believes he has met your grandfather. He is most agreeable.
I wouldn't use that word to describe him. Myself. What did you talk about?
I simply requested his aid in attempting to expedite the process here.
I see. And is he going to help?
This one believes so. This one also told him that you are very capable.
Perhaps best not to speak of me to the men of my family.
He did not react negatively.
I'm sure he didn't in company.
Perhaps this one does not understand family as well as this one thought.
Mine is certainly complicated. Probably best you don't understand.
Very well.
Let's hope we don't have to stay here any longer than we need to.
Vouivre just shrugs at that.
Okay. So, you guys have kind of free reign of the city now that you're kind of out on your own. Do you guys want to go back to the visitor's lane and wait for instruction, or do you want to explore a little bit? Like, what do you want to do?
I mean, go back and wait is kind of where I would lean towards, but I will defer to the group. Like I said, Vouivre is pretty mentally fried at this point, so he is not.
I'm fine with going back to the visitor center. Zane's just been taking various notes about the surroundings and area and the way the city is.
Okay. Oh, Austin just had a power surge. Oof.
Eep.
Okay. Well, you make your way back to Visitor's Lane. You eventually make it to your abode. At this point, Elkis and Archer will look at all of you and Orphelia and say, there's some business that we specifically have to attend to as emissaries, so we will be we'll be heading to Griffin's Rest to speak. But we will return before dinner. And if you need anything from us, just have Ophelia contact you via the sending spell, or contact us via the sending spell. Okay.
Alrighty.
All
Very
right.
well.
And Archer will kind of look at everybody and go, "Welcome to my personal hell." And they
It's
will.
a little strange.
He'll nod and say, "I've been saying this for years now." And they, you see Elkis cast fly on himself, and Archer wings start to flap, and they head north to Griffin's Rest. So, in the meantime, is there any... Zane, have you done your crafting and whatnot that you normally do?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking on that. A little bit of time passes, and eventually, Hilda, the female Furbolg, walks through the gate and kind of like peeks her head into the front door and goes, "Oh, hey there. We were just so you know, we were just notified that your meeting with the inner ring will be tomorrow morning. The king won't be available, and he's the one that makes the final decision, but at the very least you'll be able to run by your situation with all the top brass in the city, so that's a good thing. Is there anything that we can do to make things a bit more comfortable for you? Do you need and she'll like look at you, Weaver. By chance, do you need someone who's excellent at healing? Perhaps can make you feel a little bit better and less irritable?"
This one does not know about less irritable, but it will help physically at the very least.
Can do. Okay. I'd say let's. I'll go ahead and. I'll get one of the Laura to come in to assist you. And for you, Elka, that only you, Elka. You can make a history check to figure out what the Laura are.
Do I get advantage?
What now?
Do I get advantage from Calypso?
No.
Oh.
Oh yeah, advantage. Yeah.
Roll a 10 and
10.
Oh,
is
okay.
10 was the DC for you. You know that the Laura are a family of dryads that are healers and they're protector and they're basically the keepers of the forest and the swamp. They are fey beings. They're half fey, half spirit. It takes about 5 minutes or so, but popping up out of the wooden floor of your home that you're staying in, you see a beautiful woman, light green hair, has her eyes are a little weird. Instead of that of human eyes, you see more of like reptilian eyes is the best way I could describe it. They're definitely more like sharp looking, almost instead of reptilian, more feline, I'd say. They're feline type eyes, and they shine a bright yellow. But as she pops up, she'll say, "Hello. I was told someone is in need of assistance. My name is my name is Gale Lorelaya. And I am here to assist you. Okay, let me take a look at you, dear." And she'll like walk up, and her hand overarching over your head. You see her fingers start to grow. Instead of skin, they're tree branches. And she just like slowly touches the top of your head. "I apologize if this is a bit invasive." And she'll touch the top of your head and basically palm your head. "I see. You've been awake for a long time for a mortal. That isn't good. Well, let's get you fixed up." And she will cast Greater Restoration on you at 9th level.
Ooh.
Which, for your sake, it does cause you to lose a bit of your actual tiredness. It feels refreshing. It's as if you've lost a day of being awake, is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
She looks at you. "Oh dear, you're still exhausted."
Yes, but this one feels much better now.
"Oh, that's a good thing. I tell you what, maybe, the burden you bear is great. I could take it off your hands if you like."
I'm going to... No. This one is... This one cannot transfer the burden, otherwise there is a chance of great peril for everyone around us.
Great peril. What kind of peril? And she'll smile at you blankly.
I'm not. Actually, this one would prefer not to say. Technically, I should have had disadvantage still.
It's
but
fine.
That's a low enough roll that.
Yeah. Well, that's fine, I suppose. What was your name, by the way?
Now, do I know
I'm
that?
Galley.
Do I know that giving my name to, I forgot his first name, Grandpa Burning Heart, is what potentially messed with me?
You felt a little bit of a noxious wave come over you when he asked you that question. But it was it wasn't so noticeable that that it was. Yeah, the thing about Fey magic is that it's very subtle. It's very quickly invasive is the best way I could describe Fey magic. So
would I warn my friends? Right? Is that not something I
So
would?
here's the problem with Burning Hearts. Burning Hearts can only obtain Archfey status once they join the Inner Ring. So Burning Hearts are one of the very few families in Arune that you've probably heard about a pixie or a fairy attempting to persuade people into doing funny acts. However, the knowledge that Archfey have the ability to sway the mind and take over the mind of unassuming people, it's not something that's wildly shared to the children of Arune until they're older. So, I mean, you left at 15. I'm going to say you could roll a history check. And same, as for everybody else, I'd say you could also roll, I'd say, Elka, roll a history check with advantage. Everybody else roll normally. Because it's not like it's a secret that there's definitely stories out there that may speak about this. That's for anybody that cares to know. 21, 7, no.
Yeah, no.
But 21, yeah, you would have heard bits and bobs that more powerful Fey beings, and you probably would have observed maybe your father at one point being abundantly more persuasive and charismatic than you thought he ever could be. So, yeah, I'd say it'd be fair that you have some inkling that powerful Fey have the ability to overtake minds for you, Elka.
All right, I'm gonna just very quickly step up and say, we will not be giving you our names.
Oh. A burning heart being a party pooper. How typical. And
Shoo, get out of here.
she'll sink down into the ground. But my name is Galley, as she leaves. Ophelia will look at all of you like, she creeped me the fuck out, dude. Are all Fey folk? I mean, I know not all Fey folk are like this, but like, are all non-burning hearts like this?
Not all of them.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stay here. That's good. I'm good. Yeah.
Just don't give anyone your name. Use an alias at best.
This one gave your grandfather this one's name.
Shit. I'm sure that can't be good.
But this
Well,
one... did not seem to suffer any ill effect.
It's not always immediate. Hmm. Perhaps he's changed in the last few years.
One cannot say.
Yes, well. Yes, well.
And Ophelia will be like, well, I guess we're waiting until Tweedledee and Tweedledum come back here for dinner. So I suppose everyone can wander off to their own devices until that happens. And she'll like look at you, Vouivre. You think you'll be all right for the night, or do you need more help?
This one would prefer if someone stayed awake, but or if shifts were taken.
I can stay awake. I'll stay awake. If anything, I could just do what you've been doing and have someone cast Greater Restoration on me, so that way I don't feel tired. I've done it before, and I've done it before when I was lesson planning for the university. Not fun times. Hey, I had to go down to the I had to go down to my friend's campus to get him to craft me or brew me a potion that could keep me awake. Shit sucked. Anyways. Yeah, I can stay awake with you. That's fine. Anybody else want to stay awake? Any takers? It's fun sometimes.
Awake, no, but I could be up early enough to take a shift, I guess.
Okay. We'll see what the other two say when they get back. I'm sure Archer would be thrilled to stay up all night. So, okay.
You know, he is a bit of a night owl.
And she'll look at you.
Damn it.
How dare you do this to my boy?
That caught me so off guard.
Okay. All right. Rocks fall, everyone dies. Okay. Jesus Christ. All right. Well, since we don't belabor the point, the night continues on, and probably around what you would assume to be 8 or 9 o'clock at night, Archer and Elka come walking back. Both of them look exhausted. They kind of look at all of you and be like, "So, how was your evening?" But
It has no rules.
well, I suppose we should eat dinner. And Archer will look at you, Zane. Wanna help me cook?
Hell yeah, bud.
Cool. Vouivre, well, you're actually busy. I don't want to make you cook while you're...
Yes, this one will refuse this time.
Alright.
I'm gonna politely ask Weaver to hand over the spice pouch.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I will help Archer cook.
Okay. So, a nice, simple meal of various vegetables for both Halkus and Elka are laid out, as well as some sort of what looks to be probably beefsteaks. Could be maybe venison. Hard to tell. Archer doesn't really tell you, Zane, what you're cooking. He just hands you shit to cook. But food is made. You all sit down for a meal. Sitting in this weird artificial place of residence is an odd feeling for all of you. It just doesn't feel like you're at home. It just feels like you've stayed in some shitty hovels and shitty motels and taverns, and this just feels like an entirely different experience. It just feels like you're free to leave whenever you want, as long as you have a guide with you. But you're also feel like you're kind of in solitary confinement. It's just an odd feeling of being like suffocated while you're in here.
At some point, probably earlier in the night, I forgot I have I think it's a ring of detect magic. I have something of detect magic.
Yeah, I honestly, I can't remember what the item was, but yes, you do. I know you do.
Yeah, I would like to cast detect magic on myself and take a gander around.
Okay. Let me see here. All right. When you cast detect magic, you look around everywhere, and everywhere you look is just flooded with all sorts of arcana. It's almost suffocating how much arcane energy is just wafting through the air. You look at yourself and anything other than magical items you have on your body and your own magical essence, your natural magical essence. Nothing strange is happening to you internally. You do begin to look at the house, and you see a deep level of enchantment on this house. You also can tell that there's a lingering effect of divination on the house.
That's what I was looking for. Yep, I was about to say, I'm looking for anything divination specifically.
So you can tell that there's some, maybe some watchful eyes keeping an eye on all of you.
Yeah. I will very subtly kind of mention that, like, one-on-one, like, oh, hey, I bumped into you in the hallway, and, shoulder to shoulder, and...
Okay. I'm going to say, overall, make a deception check.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to do that public, but it was a whole 5.
Well,
and even if I didn't roll with disadvantage, it wouldn't have been much better.
Well, I was that's another natural 2 for me tonight. But yeah, regardless of the deception, the insight is it's high.
I'm guessing it's significantly higher than a 5.
Yeah, it is. As of right now, nothing going on.
Yeah. I like to think that I'm absolutely bungling it. Like, I think I'm whispering, but I'm being, like, stage whisper, like, there are eyes watching.
Where you're instead of whispering, you're just fucking lightly talking.
Screaming.
Yeah. Or you're just fucking screaming at the top of your lungs. That'd be a natural one for the... yeah, but, okay. Yeah, so, as far as you know, you're not being heard by anybody. Everybody else is being talked to by Vouivre. You're like, do you mean, you should probably be whispering. But for Archer and Elkis and Ophelia's sake, they're all just too nice to tell you that you're not whispering.
That's fair.
Yeah. I don't know about anybody else, but My camera froze again.
I have one really funny thing Zane's gonna do before he goes to bed in his room.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Fabricate on the bed and turn it, instead of into stumps, into actual wooden bedposts that look nice.
Jesus. Okay. Zane, the home improvement man.
That's right, once a day.
Okay. There are baths here, and actually the baths that are at this compound are actually not bad. They're well made enough. You get the sense anything that has to do with nature here is infinitely better in better shape than actual production of more modern type things.
And anything crafted.
Anything crafted, yeah, is kind of like a... It looks like they really tried. It really does. But they fell really short. But the baths are nice. The stonework in the bath is natural. You get the sense that they just used rocks from around the area to neatly lay in a fairly well put together bath that is warm and hot. It is a communal bath of sorts. It's more of a like a communal hot spring type of deal. So
is there like a cold plunge?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
You will see one of the rare times that Vouivre will intentionally bathe in water. Normally he just kind of rubs sand on himself. You know, kind of almost chinchilla dust bath, so to speak. But he will jump into the cold plunge for a quick dip.
Okay. Yeah, Ophelia will definitely be taking a bath. Same goes for Elkis and Archer. They need as much stress relief as they can possibly get. The horrors that they've seen today.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they the night starts to wind down without much issue. You are greeted with the intense realization that you'll have to stay awake yet another night, which is not great.
That was already, that was already clear to me.
Not great for the psyche, though.
Nope. But I'm assuming that when the higher level Greater Restoration was cast, that it knocked even the mental exhaustion down a step.
It knocked it down the equivalent of a day. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm functionally I'm still the same because the only difference is a physical speed is halved.
Yes, but the
between
idea
1 and 2 points.
The idea of being relieved of that mental exhaustion, having to wander your way back into it intentionally is.
I'm very grumpy about it.
Yeah, I can just imagine, just a grumpy lizard noises. But okay, all of you, unless anybody else wants to do anything before the night ends, you all get a long rest. Zane, you're sleeping in your more well put together bed frame because of Fabricate, and you all wake up. Ophelia kind of stays up the entire night with you, Vouivre.
Excellent.
She isn't great company, unfortunately.
Neither am I.
She's you get although you now have gained a certain insight, only you've gained a different insight about Ophelia. She's really good in groups, horrendous by herself. If it's just her and one other person that she doesn't really know that great, she's not a talker. She just kind of read a book the entire night. Every once in a while looking up to you to make sure that you're still awake and make sure that you're okay.
That is literally all Vouivre wanted, so.
Just someone to be around. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yep. Keep an extra set of eyes and not let me fall asleep.
Dawn happens, and just past the first light of dawn, a knock on the gate outside. You hear a knock on the gate outside. Vouivre.
I will stand up and answer it.
Standing in front of you is a large, elvish-looking man. Ears longer than ears protrude out in a point longer than his shoulder width does. He has long, black, streaky hair that has a single white streak going down the right side of it. He stands at about 7 foot tall. And
So one of the few people I have to look up at.
He's wearing these long, exultant black and gold robes. And he'll look down at you and smile. Hello there. I assume
Greetings.
you're our guests of honor.
One of them, yes.
Very good. Have I arrived too early? Is everyone still asleep?
I'll look back and go, this one believes so. But wake the fuck up, we are here.
Zane's gonna walk around the corner casually already. Told you I was waking up early.
Well, it's a pleasure to meet all of you. Pleasure to meet you. My name is Onyx. My name is Onyx Miss Jim. I'm the purveyor of magic and keeper of illusions here in Espruar. I'm also a member of the Inner Circle. I figured, why send some person to come fetch you when I could just come get you myself. I was in the area, of course, and he'll point to one of the 3 massive snail shell-like towers that you've observed in the background. I suppose I can wait until everyone is awake, but then we have business to attend to today. And he'll look at you, Vouivre, noticing you're holding the urn. What magnificent work of magic to hold something as powerful as a great worm is beyond belief. Well, questions about the device can be asked later. But I suppose I should warn you, today will not be a very pleasant day for all of you. Not by choice. Unfortunately, you are bringing a very powerful catalyst of magical energy into our very serene city, and I wouldn't want anything bad happening now, would we?
This one would agree with that, which is why this one has been awake for entirely too long. 96 hours or so.
That is a long time for a mortal to stay awake. Oh, the things mortals will do for power. Anyways.
This one does not do this for power.
I suppose you keep telling yourself that. I will wait. And he'll look down the lane. To the north is the Ruby Tower. My office sits inside of said tower. I suppose I got a little ahead of myself and showed up a little too early. I see 2 of you are awake. Do bring the burning hearts with you as well. I love to speak to them personally, especially Elkis.
Oh, they'll definitely be coming with us.
Oh, good. Good. That's good. Okay. I'll be in my office in the tower. Just tell them Onyx Miss Gem is awaiting you, and they will bring you up to my office. There we will conduct your meeting with myself and the other 3 current available members of the Inner Circle. The Great King Dryas will be available within the next day or so to make his final decision. Oh, I understand that might be taxing for yourself. What was your name? I'll look at you,
You can
Vouivre.
call this one Vaten.
Vaten. And you'll see his face kind of go from being he has a very confident but almost cat-like features on him. He's very, you can tell he's sly. You can tell there's definitely a level of, you've met Leon. Leon is an archfey. He looks a lot like Leon would if Leon was slimy. You know what I mean? That's the best way I could describe it.
I got you. I picked up on that as a player.
Yeah.
Vouivre, not so much.
Yeah. For your guys' visual, he's interesting. You get the sense that he's very forward with his way of talking, but as he asks your name and his face kind of goes from confidence to almost like a why didn't that work? But he will nod and smile, a half smile at you. Very well. I suppose if you need any assistance with your current endeavors, I could always get a dryad to come help you again. I was told by the wardens that they already had to call someone.
This one will persist for now.
Very well. I will see all of you here very shortly. I do trust you'll all be awake within an hour or so. Do meet me in my office within 2 hours, no later. I am a busy man. And he'll walk away. As he walks away, you don't notice footsteps. You just see him kind of hovering as he walks away.
Do I notice a trail of slime following you?
Make a perception check. $16. No.
Okay.
You do notice a brief, almost like pixie dust, a black pixie dust coming off of his feet, though. Some sort of magic, some sort of arcana is allowing him to float and glide away. That's all you gather with a 16. Yeah,
That's fair.
But the morning comes to a head. Getting ready for your meeting with the inner circle of Espruar, the Realuar, as they're formerly known as. The breakfast is made. Zane magical items crafted for the morning. Weapons sharpened. Spells prepared. Ready to go on and take on this meeting. That's where we'll go into tonight's session. Because it's 10:30.
Yeah.
Alright.
And we will hopefully be back next weekend. We won't have Todd again next week, but he should be back and available the week after that. So at least that's what he said. So we'll see. But all right. Well, thanks for playing.
Before we end,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, Zane, you notice Weaver is starting to look like he's starting to look a little extra haggard. yeah, whatever that word is that I'm trying
Yeah.
to say. He's like his eyes are kind of a little bit clouded over, not like bad, not like you'd be like worried that something's like up with him. They're still very clearly his eyes. They're just a little cloudy, like a little cataracty almost adjacent. Um, and there are patches of him that are looking a little bit more pale.
Okay. Okay. I've got that noted.
So, yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for playing, everyone. I will be right back. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. My nose itches. Ugh. But we'll be back hopefully next week. I don't see why we wouldn't. So we'll be back next week with some more time to roll. We're getting close to episode 100, which is starting to unintentionally mount up to be probably a really important episode. But we'll get to that here in a bit. But anyways, thank you for watching. Have a lovely, lovely rest of your week. And I'll catch you guys next time. Everyone have a lovely night. Catch you later. Peace out. Bye.